Hello once again, all you beautiful people out there on the land of the internet. It's me, that gaming nerd John, and here we are once again making our way through 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. But don't worry, we're in the home stretch for this portion of the game. Gotcha. So yeah, we'll be going through the last two waves of the first area for the destruction sequence. This is going to have kind of the boss fight for this particular chapter of the story. So it's going to be another new enemy introduced, one that will definitely present a unique set of challenges for players that might not necessarily be prepared at this point of the game. But we'll definitely go more into that as we get there. You'll obviously get some more of the story as well as some more terminology kind of thrown at the player, just kind of setting up for more of that actual plot progression to occur throughout the Remembrance sequences, so that'll be really interesting. We'll also be getting into a little bit more kind of background information about another generation of the Sentinels, just like before when they talked about the second generation Sentinels in the one particular mission that I completely botched the objectives for. They also go into the fourth generation model of the Sentinel and kind of its overall capabilities and kind of its role in combat for players that maybe, you know, just throw their favorite characters, like, you know, the best, Hijiyama, at problems. It kind of gives them an idea of more so what the capabilities are. But we'll nuke that bridge when we get to it, or bombard it with a giant missile, as it were, when we approach such a thing. So for now, we're just going to jump right into the missions, and we'll be beginning with the 9th wave of the first area for the destruction sequences. So, hope you enjoy. Looking forward to talking to you more as we play through it. Okay, so for this particular wave, we're going to be dealing with a lot of drillfly enemies, so kind of making sure that we're aware of that, having the right sentinels to counter those. Basically just my general rule of thumb, having one of each is a good call, and since there's a maximum of 4 members, that's precisely what we're going to be doing. So, hey, let's get to it.
My Sentinel looks pretty skinny compared to you guys. Don't tell me I got stuck with a wimpy one.
Its shoulder gyros can carry up to 600 tons, so it can fly. But it's about a quarter of the weight of a 3rd gen.
But hey, that's some crazy mobility, Yuki-chan. Besides, it's got a lot of power in those legs, right?
The spiked heels are powerful pile bunkers. They can also release a high voltage surge to overload enemy internals. But that requires a massive amount of energy. If you overuse it without any cooldown, you'll find yourself out of power fast.
Alright, so just like they were talking about, just going over the capabilities of the 4th generation models. They're very quick responders, like I've mentioned before. They have a lot of utility to them. Just in general, like a really solid unit. I'm big on the Gen 4s. It always hurts me whenever the bonus objective would be like, hey, don't use Gen 4s, because you've got interceptors, you've got shield matrix, you've got leg spike, you've got multi-missile. Like, they just have so many phenomenal abilities. Alright, well, starting off with a awful approach for me. So these drill flies come in, none of them are arranged in such a way as to be advantageous for me, so I just have Miura kind of clean up the mess. Leaves it in pretty good shape for me, just double checking. Sekigahara's like, alright, peace, I'm out. Got Shinonome, so yeah, double sentry guns because it's just good. And then she'll probably have to defend later because we know how I feel about that. Amiguchi, blasting off with some more interceptors. That'll give me some good coverage, especially for waves that might sneak up on me. Usually not a big problem, but it's helpful just to have that kind of support there because it's a little bit of extra damage. They're very effective for taking out those smaller units that can kind of clutter things up. Oh, so this is substantially better. So Here we go. Yeah, Sekigahara is probably going to just absolutely wreck this wave. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of issue. Like, if I had been slightly further north, that would have been almost perfect, because, yeah, everybody but that one little unit got it. And the sentry guns are still able to reach from there. Like, what the actual heck, man? Come on. Ridiculous range on those things. Phenomenal, by the way. They are very upgraded on this playthrough. I think it's like Sentry Gun plus 7 for Shinonome right now. Yeah, multi-lock missile, gonna do some work here. It's not gonna clean up everybody, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's a couple of stragglers. Like we talked about one of the previous missions, it's solid, but it is like a finite quantity of missiles that's launched. It's not just an area that's covered. So if there's more targets than there are actual missiles being fired, it's not going to be able to kill everything. But it is still very good. Okay. And like, even after doing that, Amiguchi's fine. He's like, oh, cool, okay, I'll just launch some interceptors. I've still got plenty of energy. I might look into upping stats in very specific ways. I mean, to be fair, though, like, the current level that my pilots are at is so much substantially bigger now. Okay, so we got some Terra carriers coming in. They've got some support with them as well, so we lock that down using Sekigahara. Miura's going to kind of struggle because he doesn't have a great shot here, but he's got a good enough shot to take out the Terra carrier. Sentry guns backing us up like they do. And then the interceptors are probably just going to... Oh, never mind. I actually just had him... Ooh, that was mildly insulting to that guy. Oof. Yeah, Sentry gun plus 7. Woo boy, that is brutal. Okay, so I moved her up. Probably just to get better range for my sentry guns, because the pair that I have situated on both the north flank and the southern flank are going to be more than sufficient for this. Sekigahara's a tractor, once again, perfect spacing there, beautiful. That railgun is going to decimate. Yeah, that was pretty much spot on. Cool, there we go.
Aegis activated. Terminal closure complete. Surrounding 2-kilometer area now fully secure. Ending technical analysis.
Looks like they changed targets. Now they're going for another terminal a ways off.
You guys go on ahead. I'm giving my Sentinel a break for repairs. I'll go find a motorcycle nearby and catch up.
Stealing bikes again? Thought you said you were gonna stop that shit.
Hey, don't say it like that. I'm just borrowing it. Cut me some slack, man. It's an emergency.
Could you give me a ride?
You're dismounting too, Shinonome-senpai? Sure, let's go.
You're gonna let her ride behind you?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Don't tell me you're...
No, dumbass, I am not jealous. I got places to be.
Guess we pushed them back.
Oh, Takamiya-senpai, why won't you notice me? Yeah, anyway. So yeah, kind of funny interaction there between Amiguchi and Takamiya. Enjoyable as always. Love Amiguchi. However, despite his best efforts, he lost out to Miura here for MVP this round. Just the quantity of missiles launched was clearly too much to surmount. We got a little bit of a win streak there, also nice, really good stuff. Yeah, that's basically everything for this particular mission. It wasn't terribly challenging, it's just being aware, having anti-air, being able to take care of that, and the carriers. So for this particular mission, it's just going to be 1st gen, 4th gen, breaking my heart, busting my balls, resetting the brain overload levels for my team, maintaining terminal defense rates so just don't let them get to you, and making sure nobody dies. Oh gee, shocking. And now we'll be introduced to the RPF. Good times.
That's a hefty chunk of them we've taken out. They can't have infinite numbers. Shouldn't we have put them on the defensive by now?
Something like that. You should have at least made a dent, but somehow... Gouto-kun found the math on how many kaiju were produced, but those figures aren't matching up with what we're seeing. By now, you've taken down more than we ever thought were made.
Maybe his numbers were off.
No, the math was based on the factory in 2105 running at full capacity. Our own projections corroborated what he found.
Then what does this mean? Why are there so many?
Wait, what's that?
Warning. Daimon signatures identified. Enemy in range.
Strange. That kaiju isn't in our data. It must be a new model.
Hey, the signals are picking up fast. Oh shit. Is that thing making more?
I know this one. It wasn't meant for land or terraforming. It was in the data for interstellar development.
An RPF. That's a roving production facility. Guess we know how they boosted their numbers now.
Okay, so the roving production facility. These guys basically will continue to produce a specific type of unit. There we go, leave attack. Yeah, they'll continue to produce a specific type of unit, so if you play way too defensively, which is kind of odd in this game because it is in real time, I could see it being more of an issue for like a turn-based style game. But anyway, they'll continue to produce a specific unit, and if you aren't able to take that RPF out, you will get overwhelmed. It is substantially more challenging on the harder difficulty levels because they do have so much more health, and the units they produce also have more health, so that kind of scales better in my opinion. For casual, it's really not that difficult. The big thing to keep in mind for this particular mission is you do only have to face one at a time, which is nice. P.S. Spoiler alert, there's going to be more than one of them. And it does go in a counterclockwise fashion for the corner that they're going to show up, so you can kind of set up defenses ahead of time, which is nice. So if you are struggling with this particular mission, one of the things I would suggest is prepare when you have that breathing room in between each of the waves. You're going to see that there's a little bit of breathing room.
Daimon signature.
Finally, we managed to take it out.
Don't relax yet. Judging by the jump in numbers, there's no way it was just the one.
Warning. Daimon signatures identified. Enemy in range.
Looks like that one's manufacturing drill flies.
What a nightmare. Machines giving birth to increase their numbers?
Right, so admittedly the second one appears basically instantaneously, but this third and fourth one, they'll actually give you a little bit of time. It's each, like I mentioned before, they focus on a specific unit. So the first one was just focusing on like wimpy drones. This guy's actually focusing on air units. So it does force you to have kind of a variety of tools at your disposal. So you can't really like hyper focus specialize your specific Sentinels to like, I'm just going to focus on anti-air. Well, no, you also need to be able to handle like ground units and stuff. So that does present a challenge because you only have a finite number of slots on your Sentinels for skills. Multi-lock missile, it was so close. Still, nothing terribly difficult. Just being cognizant of that. There's the Interceptor Swarm helping us out, as it do. Huh. Yeah, I probably was trying to get those little chumps on the other side, and it just didn't work right because the RPF took the hit. But that's okay. EMP Attractor took care of that, and now we're going to leg spike for the win, baby. Ka-boom. Love it. Yep, confirm termination. And then now we have a little bit of a breathing room. So, like, the first two are consecutive just back-to-back. It's like one punch after the next. So definitely make sure that you're set up for that appropriately. If you are as absurdly overleveled as my people are, you can even just like position them to get ready. Like for instance, I've got Sekigahara moving to the western quadrant, and it's like, why would I need to do that? Then I've got Ogata going north, probably, yeah, having Gouto kind of head into the middle.
That one's probably assigned to a single Kaiju type too.
More of those flies?
No, this one looks like it's churning out twin tails.
Stay on guard.
Alright, now number 3 with Twin Tails. So you've got long range problems now. Gouto, why would you run out of energy, you son of a... please don't defend with... Yeah, thank you. I was like, don't do that. Leap attack is... yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, alright, just enough range. Cool. Hijiyama coming in.
Don't let up. As long as I can keep this thing moving.
Leg spike, that'll probably seal the deal there. If I had to place bets, yep. Yep, that takes care of the third one. And then there'll be a little bit of a breathing room time here to again get set up. Kind of just try and get my chess pieces on the board where they need to be, as it were. Moving our folks around. So like Ogata I didn't even need. He was overkill for that, but that's just because my team's that stupid strong. So fourth one coming in here soon.
Warning. Daimo signatures identified. Enemy in range.
Again?
This RPF looks like it's working on drum mines.
Those self-destructing ones? Just our luck.
What now?
Yeah. So last one is going to be making drum mines. So, Sekigahara, my bro, please don't stay there. This is probably going to be very quick, cause yeah, Demolisher Blade is stupid good, and then it's just going to be a matter of taking out that little chump. So piece of cake, not too bad.
Enemy down.
Confirmed termination of RPF Daimo signature. Aegis activated. Terminal closure complete.
Can you hear me? All Sentinel pilots, please listen to me.
What the? Hey, ain't she that singer from TV?
Miyuki Inaba. We're lucky to have her.
I'm going to try reaching the mainframe. If I can, this nightmare will finally end. But I can't do it without help. I need you to protect the terminals from Daimo's intrusion. You're fixing the mainframe? You mean the big underground computer?
I see. So this is Okino's last resort.
Your survival hinges on this. If Universal Control can finish processing my commands, you'll all get through this alive. If we can keep the Daimos from interrupting the process before the mainframe destroys your world, we can save everyone. I just need time. The rest is up to you. Please, protect the terminals from the Daimos.
That's the last of them, right?
And there we go. That's the last of the first area of the destruction sequence. So you can see like those RPF, just because I went so full tilt on taking them out, we didn't really have to deal with large groups of them being manufactured, but I assure you that can certainly become an issue quickly. So focusing fire on them, making sure to be able to either incapacitate or in some way, shape, or form control the smaller units is important. They do have a hefty chunk of HP, so those high damage abilities like you saw from just each of the various generations has one. Being aware of what those tools are and being able to kind of leverage those when they show up. That's pretty much the big thing for that. They're not terribly difficult if you just are aware of what they can do. And of course, Demolisher Blade is OP as hell, so Sekigahara gets our MVP to wrap it up here. One of the things that was kind of mentioned there during that last little story chunk before they wrapped up was universal control, and I don't believe that's a term that we've really gone into that much. You'll definitely be hearing more of that when we get into the Remembrance sequences. It's going to be far more important. Sneak peek, Area 2. Yep, it's gonna be coming in here soon. So for now, that that'll wrap up our first run through of a larger sequence of the destruction missions. The first area really does a great job of introducing all the units, really, that you're going to be fighting. I don't believe there's really too much left for them to introduce unit-wise. I know there's definitely one specifically that they don't show here, but that'll be later on. Yeah, I think it's a good way of kind of upping the tutorial-esque aspect of it while still presenting somewhat of a challenge to the player. Each of those missions has their own specific kind of tack to it, where you need to be aware of like what that particular strength or weakness of that kaiju is, so that you can counter that sufficiently. And then having those like mid-boss boss waves is nice. It gives a general flow of the game that's pretty smooth. So now we'll be getting back to the Remembrance sequences. We'll be starting up again with Kurabe. The Remembrance sequences are going to be a little bit longer, probably going to be in the range of like 30 to 45 minutes, just because there is so much plot to get into. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Thanks for watching through all of the various parts here that we've been going through with the destruction sequences, the minor missteps here and there along the way, and you know, just kind of enjoying the combat that the game has. It's a fun little mode. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying this series, of course, make sure to hit that like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all that cool stuff from the YouTube and whatnot. But thanks again one last time. This has been That Gaming Nerd John, and as always, take it easy.